Hello everyone and welcome to my little Minecraft tutorial Let's Play. This is a little series I'm doing if you have just picked up Minecraft because you heard it was good and don't know anything about it. Then here is a little guide to help you get started. I'm playing Minecraft version 1.14.3, and once you've got Minecraft, the first thing you're going to want to do is just click single player, create new world, and of course make yourself a new world. This will be called tutorial world because that's what I'm doing. The game mode here decides what you're going to be doing in this game. In survival, that's just the regular game. You run around, use your resources, craft stuff, that kind of thing. Hardcore is, like it says here, it's the same as survival mode, only it's locked at the hardest difficulty, and your world gets deleted if you die, so you only have one life. And creative is if you don't want to deal with, hunger or health or monsters, and you just want to go around building things. You can, it just gives you unlimited resources and flying. We're going to be playing survival, of course, because in my opinion that's the meat of the game. If you click more world options here, it will show you lots of nice little options you can change. Generating structures is we want that on for our playthrough. That'll keep villages and dungeons and stuff generating. Lots of old ruins for us to go look for. If you don't want any of that, and you just click and you just turn it off, then your village will have no other people in it, no non-player characters, just nature and animals, and that's about it. But we're gonna keep it on. World type, you can go with default, which is what we're gonna be doing. There's also super flat, large biomes, amplified, buffet. Those are all other options you can try out, but you're only really ever gonna have a need for default. Now, if you have a seed here, like say I type in a seed right here, say Pikachu or something, and I generate a world with that seed, then if you do the same thing, you'll get the exact same world that I get. That's just what seeds are for. I already have a seed that I've chosen because it's the one that I want for this world. A bonus chest is just a little chest full of materials that you start with upon world generation. It's nothing really good. Like, it's usually just a few materials for just to help you get started. I don't need that, but if you do, it's just fine. Cheats, we're gonna be keeping that off, but you can do some interesting things with cheats. And I think we're about ready to create our world. And you can see it generate there. And I'm going to turn on full screen here. Let's see where we start. Looks like we got a desert. Deserts are alright. They're not that great. Now, if you can walk around with the WASD keys. Right click to destroy blocks like this, and you can scroll through your little hotbar here with the scroll wheel, and right click to place something after you've place a block after you've picked it up. And if you press E, you'll just open up your little inventory. There's my little character. You've got armor slots, a shield slot, crafting grid, and just a bunch of inventory slots for holding things in. Now, when you first start a world, the first thing you're going to want to do is head out and look for some trees. Trees are really useful because you can get wood from them, which you need for crafting pretty much anything. The little crafting grid in our inventory that I showed you, that's that's one of the most useful things you can have. It's a very big part of the game, you know. It's half the name, mining, crafting. So we're just gonna head out here and see if we can find there's some trees. Oh, that's a cave. You don't want to go into any caves yet because we're not very prepared at the moment. Now just walk up to a tree, start punching it, you want to hold down the mouse button. If you just click over and over again, it's not going to do anything. You have to hold it down. And we're just gonna chop down this whole tree here. Let's see if we can make something out of it. Alright, now here's how to use the crafting grid. If you put something in the crafting grid, it will usually, if you have the right recipe, give you something in return. Like we can turn sugarcane right here into sugar. We can turn sand. If we put 4 of them, it do sandstone. And most importantly, we can take these logs and turn them into planks. You can turn those planks into sticks. But the first thing you're going to want to make after you've gotten some wood is just put 4 wood blocks in wood planks. I'm sorry. In the crafting grid, and you'll get yourself a crafting table, it's kind of a workbench. And now the crafting table gives us another crafting grid, but as you can see, it's much bigger, and that gives us more room to craft things. For example, say I want to take this sugar cane and turn it into paper. You can't do that in the regular crafting thing because it's not big enough, but the crafting table opens up a lot more crafting recipes for us. So let's take these wood planks and make ourselves a wooden pickaxe. You got 2 sticks for the handle, 3 planks for the pick, and there we go. Making tools is very important. And as you know, for the last few minutes, every time we do something, occasionally up here in the top right corner, there'll be a little thing that pops up notifying us, hey, you've got new crafting recipes. Oh, that's an achievement. And what the crafting recipes are for is this little book right here. If you click on it, it will open up all the things that you know how to craft. And right now it's showing us things that are white, which means we can craft them, and things that are red, which means we know how to craft them, but we don't currently have the materials on us. If you click this button, it will switch it between whether or not it shows you only the things that you can currently craft. You're going to want to take this wooden pickaxe and find some stone. This is not stone, this is just a bit of diorite. It's just a sort of decorative block. You can't do much with it. There's gravel down there, but take it back and take that stone, and now you can make stone tools. So we can upgrade our pickaxe from a wood pickaxe to a stone pickaxe. And the difference is, stone pickaxe, it's much faster. You can see this is going a lot faster than it was with the wood pickaxe a few minutes ago. And this stone, if you want, you can break it with your fist like this. It's extremely slow, but you don't really want to do this because it's not going to give you anything. You need a pickaxe to mine stone. And some of the more interesting things that that are going to be that we're going to be mining up later down in the earth. So let's make a few more sticks and get ourselves a couple more tools: an axe, a shovel, and a sword right here. Now, you don't have to use the recipe book. You can turn it off and just use, the grid. If you know how to make things. I have a lot of the crafting recipes memorized, not all of them, but I just tend to find it easier to use the recipes. It's less of a hassle. And you notice we picked up some saplings from that tree that we just chopped down, and we're going to want to plant these saplings back down so that more trees can grow. Because if you just chop down all the trees and never replant any of the saplings, you're going to run out of wood. Also, these bits of tall grass here, when you break them, they have a small chance to give you some wheat seeds. And we're going to be planting those maybe this episode, maybe in a future one. But right now, our first priority is not to... ooh, an apple. Is not to get a farm going. What we want is to get some of this wood and start building ourselves a little shelter. Because you can see the sun up there. It's going down slowly. Each day lasts about 10 to 15 minutes in Minecraft, and once the sun goes down and the moon comes up and it's dark outside, monsters will start to come out, and they're going to want a nice shelter before we have to deal with those. And if you want, you can just dig into a hill here, make a little hole, and wait for the night to pass. But I kind of want something a little nicer. So while I wait for these trees to grow back, I'm gonna come over here and how about the top of that hill? That looks like a nice spot for our first little house. And so I'm going to chop down some trees, and one more thing. You're going to need food before you head out, and there's some chickens here, so we're just going to smack this chicken with our axe, and that gives us some raw chicken and some feathers, and we'll be able to cook up that chicken pretty soon. You do want, it's very important to leave a few chickens alive, because we're going to make a chicken farm later. And we can't do that if we've killed all the chickens. So, let's see. Plant down some trees here. There's some coal over there. And that's about... And once we've got some coal and the wood we got earlier, that's about everything we're going to need for our little house that we're going to make. Let's see how many. Okay, I've got oak logs, 10 of them. Uh-oh, sun's setting. Alright. I was hoping to make something a bit more nice looking, but we're running out of time, so we'll have to make do with what we have. And we're just going to put our crafting table in here, and we can take our stick and this coal and make ourselves a torch. to light up our house during the night. And last thing we need is a door. And now we can take these 8 cobblestone and make ourselves a furnace. And just plop that right down next to the crafting table. Take our raw chicken, and you can, there's a lot of things you can use for fuel for your furnace. One of them is coal, but you can also use your wood planks, this wooden door, or your old wooden tools. And we don't need our wooden pickaxe anymore now that we have a stone one. So we'll just put that in the furnace and use it to cook up our raw chicken. Now, down here, right next to my, let's take a look at the, down by my hotbar. You can see there's a couple things above it. The first one is my health. When you get hit by monsters or you fall from too high, you'll take damage and your health will go down. And over here is your hunger bar. And what your hunger does is it heals you. If you have, if you're too hungry, and you get hungry by doing things like running around or taking damage or just, doing things, your hunger will go down eventually. Like, say, if I just start jumping a lot here, eventually it's going to use up my my hunger. Oh, I forgot to mention you can jump with the space bar. That's very important to know, because you have to jump to get around. But if I just start jumping a lot here, eventually those little, what are they, like chicken legs? Something like that. Those little chicken legs will start disappearing because we're getting hungrier. And once that happens, we'll just eat this chicken, and that'll restore some of our hunger. I guess I don't really need to demonstrate, but you can eat items here. You can eat food with the same right-click button that you use to place down blocks. And if I get hungry even after I eat the chicken, I still have this apple I got from that tree. So let's cook up one. Let's use one of these doors as fuel, because we aren't going to need an extra door. And we're just going to wait out the night while we wait for monsters. Oh, and I should mention, if you don't want any monsters, you can take the difficulty here and you can switch it to peaceful. And that'll just make it so that monsters will not spawn. So you go outside at night and there will be no monsters. But you do want to be careful with switching to peaceful, because there are a lot of monsters that when they come out, there are certain items in the game that you can only get by killing monsters, because monsters are the only things that drop them. They're the only source of those items. But you can also do easy, normal, and hard mode, and we're just going to be sticking with normal for this run. Oh, and if you click this lock button, you won't be able to change the difficulty again. Will always be set to, for us, normal difficulty, and we won't be able to change it, but we're not going to do that. It's back to game. Whew. So now we have 2 cooked chicken, just in case. You can go out at night, and you'll probably be fine unless you run into a monster. Let's see, I don't see any monsters around, but they do show up. There's one. That down there is a skeleton. You can kind of see him from here. Oh, and there's a zombie right over there. Let's get back inside before one shows up closer to us. There's a spider. There's some endermen. The spider's pretty close, so I'm going to get back inside before he sees me and starts to come after me. Whew. That's about all we're going to be able to accomplish on our first day, and we're just going to wait out the night in our little shelter here. And I think that's about all for this episode. I will see you right in the next episode. Have fun.